Have you ever used any of these emojis in an email or a WhatsApp text to your boss? Do you think these are appropriate emojis to use in professional communications? Let's look at what are the do's and don'ts of using emojis in professional conversations. According to the 2019 Emoji Trend Report published by Adobe, 61% of employees are using emojis in work-related conversations. Quite interestingly, 36% of them are only using emojis in conversations with people who are in the same level of hierarchy as them, regardless of whether they are internal or external parties to communicate with. 13% of us are using emojis in professional conversations, regardless of the level. These numbers will only grow with more and more millennials and even younger generation people are joining the workforce. Therefore, we have to admit that there is a place for emojis in professional communications going into the future. Whether you should use emojis or not in professional communications depends on the context. If your workplace is informal, emojis are most likely acceptable in professional communications. But if you work under a regimental, old-fashioned work culture, think twice before you add that smiley face into a communication with your superiors. The problem with emojis is you'll never know how the other party will receive and interpret the emoji that you inserted into your communication. Even bigger problem than that, do you understand the meaning of each emoji before you insert into a conversation with a work colleague, a superior, or even an external business partner? It's difficult to give one-by-one recommendation for all the emojis out there in the internet, but as a general rule of thumb, always avoid any emojis with angry sentiments. Sad and grieving faces emojis are okay to be used with people who are working in the same level as you are, but don't use such emojis in communications with superiors or with external business partners. Now, coming to the cheerful and neutral face emojis, there are a few which are really ambiguous in the meaning. That's where most people mess it up. If you want to communicate a positive, cheerful, and a friendly sentiment, use the slightly smiling face emoji in your communications. This is the safest emoji you can use in a conversation with a superior or with an external client. But never confuse this with the grinning face emoji, which conveys a sense of humor. You can always send a WhatsApp text to your boss saying, "Boss, the monthly target is achieved," and end it with a slightly smiling face emoji. But if you use the grinning face emoji instead, boss may reply saying, "What's so funny about it?" Another mistakenly used emoji is the face with tears of joy. Now remember, this is tears of joy, not tears of sadness. I've seen people using this in funeral condolence messages, mistaking this to be a grieving emoji. These are some of the other emojis that you have to avoid in conversations with your superiors or external business partners. Face with tongue, winking face with tongue, face with hand over mouth. This one essentially means you said something cheekily or sarcastically and then go say, "Oops." Now let's see what are the other safe emojis to use in professional communications other than the slightly smiling emoji. Smiling face with smiling eyes is an emoji you can use in professional communications when you are replying to a compliment received from a superior or from an external business partner like a client. You can say thank you and end it with smiling face with smiling eyes to convey a message that you are pleasantly humbled by the compliment you received. Thinking face is an emoji which you can use in professional WhatsApp conversations, especially when you are brainstorming for a solution for a problem. You can put a suggestion in the question format and then end it with the thinking face emoji so that you convey a message to your team that you are also still deeply thinking about this as an option and you are not saying that your solution is the only solution for the problem. Face with the open mouth is another safe emoji to use in professional communications to express your surprise towards certain news. Well, that's all from me. Do you have stories about emojis gone wrong in professional communications? Share your stories as comments below and tell me more about what's your opinion about using emojis in professional communications. Cheers and have a nice day.